My bad. 10 minutes of conversation we had. I forgot to record, which gives a clear snippet of all first session recap. But at least now I remember. Let's see. So on that note, we just recapped what we have done on session 1. Jumping back to session 2, let's see more of reports, how you will be able to connect to the dots of which reports, how we can do, etc., etc. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Hope you will be able to see it. And then, so now, so there are different reports. We talked based on the initial things or the base content, right? Let's go with one. We talked about daily, and let's say, you want to see insider 1 to 2 day thing. Here is what it is, right? If you go to latest, I just use reports. In search also you have similar capabilities, but through reports I'm used to, so I'm showing there. So if you see here, somebody bought, sold, etc., etc., you keep getting it. Let's say you want to see Amazon, this will capture from 1 day. I don't think there is anything reported. If it is reported, we would know the news. So there's nothing, but anything that is happening, you will be knowing. You can filter out, put the highest values based on transaction value, this many millions, this many millions. The way you will be able to get it. You see here 1.48, 237 million. Somebody is buying 237 million. It means that's a good thing to look at. This is how I would assume, right? He bought, I think, 500K shares in APPN. Like that, a lot of good info will be there. How are we going to digest it and make it into a better investment? It depends on so many other factors as well. Because anybody who invests, it's not like he invests today to make same 237 million for tomorrow, right? That's not the case. Okay. So keeping that aside, this is 1 to 2 day report. But on a regular basis, 1 to 10 day report is where this report comes into play, where you might find someone investing good chunk into good companies. Okay. If you see this fund, it's going into APPN. Some insider bought it over there. If it is same company or same person, you assume it's the same thing. But otherwise, I think it's the same, 545 shares, right? So he's an insider buying it. So it's happening. And since he bought it, he's reporting because he owns 17% of the stake. Whatever we discussed, right? It applies to 90% of the scenario. Here and there could be exceptions, but they reported. So like that, on Friday itself, you got 41 transactions, out of which some are increased, some are reduced. Like I said, it's very straightforward, self-explanatory report. If you see here, this is a symbol, this is the person invested. Okay, let's think like APPN is the company. I invested when I invested. So we talked about counts, right? How they look like. So 209 people were showing interest last quarter versus some people left out, or whatever reason it came down. Doesn't mean company is going bad. At the same time, doesn't mean it's doing good. But at that point, due to whatever reasons of market or company exposure, company decisions, company management, things can change. Whether it's temporary or not is where we figure out, we get some help with these reports, and also generic idea for market and cumulative group where a lot of people come together to learn, and all that makes a big help. Okay, on that note, it's just a difference. Then how many people, last three transaction has happened recently in last 45 days, quarter to quarter they track, because quarter to quarter info here it is available. After that info is captured here based on any transactions if they're doing it. Then prices, shares, etc., how much they invest. So what parameters I would be looking at could be a good question, right? Okay, I might be looking at good investor. I might be looking at any good company I know of, right? If not, the biggest thing chunk will be okay, how much did they invest, how much ownership they have. So this ownership did not come overnight. He just increased little bit to get to that. He might be earlier at 16% ownership. So then I'll think, is it any significant amount or significant deal that I need to look at? So now let's look at this, right? Maxim, some investor invested. Solar companies are not doing good. It came down from 25 to nothing. I believe it's right now at, literally cents. Current price should be there. Okay, right here, 23 cents. It used to be a $25 stock. 7 transactions happened in recent times. Let's go click and see what is it's showing. It's same thing, same SEC report, same report, but they are bringing in based on Friday data. I understand there are certain transactions, but what are all the 7 that is happening? If you want to see, we wanted to grab a quick look on those, right? So if you see, these are the investors, they have been doing, in and outs or whatever. Most likely all looks positive, increased, newly bought, newly bought, newly bought, So what this means, why are they getting in? This is how I started in 2020, and maybe this session sometimes helps me, right? Otherwise, I might have not looked at this report, maybe. Uh, Today I'm looking at it. Now, this many people invested in recent times from last 1 month here and there. They've been investing, right? So anytime this kind of transactions happened over time, right? Sometimes immediate effect will be there, but most of the cases, 8 out of 10, over time, if you give, they show good results, and you might see you might be getting a returns of 1x 2x. Those are the possible kind of scenarios I have seen. So this gives me some idea. Okay, this company is sinking. Solar, we say sometimes it's a good future, or everybody might avail those kind of options available, but this is happening. What are big people who continuously, just like our work is IT, or some XYZ, where we are our fathers were government teachers, etc., etc. Their profession, they know mostly better than anybody who is out of that context, right? Similarly, these people, day in day out, their job is to find great companies, or companies with cheap value compared to their probable earnings, and then see if there is something they can do better on the long run, right? So maybe that's the reason they are investing. Like I said, oh, can you name me a few examples that has happened where you see bunch of them, and then the stock definitely did good? So when I started off, I think in 2020 or something, I started getting to know more about these reports. That's when I saw GME around 6 transactions. Well, stock was not taking off, not taking off. Then you know what happened, right? It kicked off. It doesn't mean it will have similar kind of impact, but some confidence. There could be some where we got similarly 7 8, and it did not perform. That's where your judgment has to come in, but it's giving some guidance, right? At the end of the day, rather than losing hope, or whether we can even look into this as an option. So many people are taking advantage. He could be a, let's say, this Linden Capital, he could be $100 million company, and he might be taking 1 million position. Let's just say that's just 1% of it. So you have to act the same. When you act the same, maybe your results will be same or on those lines, or better, as we learn, right? So you don't dump because it's happening like this. We don't dump everything. But again, jumping back, this report is where you'll know what is happening, etc. That's why they summarized it. If this was not there, I wouldn't know. Okay, max 1 transaction today, but on a high level, they have 7 of those. So like that, and when you went there, you saw mostly positive. This particular person, or company, or individual investor, they went from 18K to 3 million shares almost, right? Around 1 million is invested. So like that, you make decisions. What is worth out of all this? Some case study needs to be go in. That's where things have been admins do their work and try to share. But without learning, it would be hard. That's why the focus has been how we can bring more people, more awareness about how reports work, or how to even invest based on what factors. It might be a helpful tip. That's why we do these sessions. So like this is the report where 1 to 10 days kind of scenarios happen. And then on a quarterly basis, what we get, we talked about some reports like statistical report, individual report, right? Institutional individual report. We'll talk about other reports too. So like this information helps today. Just to show you how it will help. When I talked, I know Maxine is falling, but now after this session, since I came across, I'll put it in my watch list. Maybe if I put invest in 23 cents, if they ever don't do reverse splits, maybe someday it might go to $1. We don't know, but at least I have an option. I can see, I can talk about it with my friends in ThinkSabio groups, etc. That kind of platform is being developed, right? That's the end goal. Cool. That is one report. Now with the same report, I'm going on a daily, weekly, quarterly, right? I'll go on that context and see how we can cover most reports. So, trending reports like name suggests, what is moving that day. That's all, right? What is moving. It's more of for a day traders, or something is happening you want to know, you can know. It's simple. Let's see for a minute what happens when you pull this up. So if you see this, on a Friday, if you see on a high level, quickly it's given here, but on a Friday, whatever stocks moved based on that percentages, it's showing. That's all it is. 79%. Just these columns, if you pay attention, you will know. But other than that, it's like a trending report, like the name says. So now ACC we saw how the report looks, how to identify names. The best example we talked, it was in front of us. So some transactions are happening, some interest has been there. As that grows, as buying pressure builds, right? Someday it will pop, or the stock will pop. So that kind of report, it will help. Now there is something called uptrend, downtrend, and different reports are there. It might take a lot of time for us to go through, but on a high level, if you understood what they mean, it is easy. So I will jump and take two more reports from this section to quickly make you understand. So if you go here, you can look at just price or price and volume, right? So in stock market, I'm sure during part of our questionnaire we can talk, and if people have more knowledge, please feel free to share. But at the end of the day, in stock market, price, volume, and we can call it as price action both together. That's all it means for the stock to perform on that interval to on a short term level or period, right? So without these two, there's nothing. Without volume or without price moving upward, there is nothing for that stock. Or when stock is moving downward, obviously it's in not performing scenario where you can start it or whatever. So this report, if you see, it's very simple. We talk about a lot of technical analysis that also can be done. ThinkSabio has experts. I myself can go into and talk about that as well. But what makes it easy is like a scanner, the tendering report, and then this one's helps clearly what could be good stocks to keep an eye. For example, if you see here, uh, volume and price. You see here, price is going up, volume is going up. So far in 5 days, price wise 5%, volume wise 90% increase. So if you take the AERT, some shell company, price wise 33%, volume wise 795% when compared to initial days. So that means it's building some good price action and volume. Out of this is how any short-term trades can be made. We don't have patience. This is what we have to do. But it also means it has a highest risk because volume can evaporate. Yesterday 1 million shares, today only 10K will be trading. Volume gone. That means price will fall, or nothing might happen. So like that, but for you it's available. In technical language, if you have to talk about this, it's simply higher highs. The stock is making higher highs on a day to day. Simple, right? You're looking at daily time frame and you're looking at what are the stocks that are making higher high. So now when I see here, maybe there could be some opportunity. One, the way I see it is, well, market is trending on AI news right now. Market is trending on election news now. Market is trending on defense related. market is trending because of some COVID. So based on stocks that pop here, and based on the environment we are in at that point, if something is grabbing your eye, that's where you can pick and give a try. That's how you'll be able to figure out good stocks, very good stocks, because it's clearly giving with different filters. You can make it easy to suit your profile, your mindset of some people love to do $100 risk versus reward. Don't forget the caption of risk versus reward. We remove that part and go into wherever we want and expect the results. No. So naturally, when you put in a more stable company, risk versus reward is also determined, but it will do what it has supposed to do, right? So on that note, right, like that, you'll be able to use this report. Same with uptrend. It's just the price is going up, where volume is not going up consistently. Because what happens, not everyday volume can keep coming up, right? Some traders might be interested in that name today for whatever reasons, versus tomorrow they may not be interested. But however, at least because of no sell scenarios, the price is consistently keeping it up and continue to hold. So in that kind of scenarios, you will be able to, instead of just 2 days, you can see something that is going for 3 days, so forth, so forth, so forth. If something is going so many days up, it might come back, it might pull back, but at least you have a scenario that it is performing. Maybe it's good to have in your watch list and take a decision accordingly. So you know where to invest, where to look at, something like that. All this is trying to give you a gist of where to look at, what kind of stocks. Looks like market is going on full run. That's why you see a lot of stocks that are running uptrend. But with a lot of filters, you can figure out which stocks to invest. Okay, these are certain kind of reports. And I also told you on the first session itself, one place you will be able to see most valuable stocks. Some of the junk stocks are $100, or very less things might not be reported here, but almost 5,000 stocks are reported here, where you can see entirety of how they are performing based on this year to date filters, etc., etc. So how this will help could be a question we might get to our mind. It might strike our mind, right? That's where I'm telling, right? Now, if you want to research based on good performance companies, you'll be able to have certain pattern. And as long as that is checking with your checklist of items you look into before investing, then you can make decisions. But at least it will give you where the stocks are moving, which are performing versus not, etc., 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 any good probabilities. Okay. So similarly, weekly, we saw on a day to day what happened. Same thing here on a week to week. You know, since consistently 4 weeks, if a stock is performing, that's where it's a week over week, it's making higher highs. When there is a demand, when there is interest, it will continue to hold. Up to when, nobody knows. But the possibility is that you put your money in the direction when it's having demand, rather than putting money, it is going other way, may not work, because when there is no interest, there might be no interest until certain point of, just like until certain point of time, it might go up and pull back. Same thing happens. It's all about where the investors like to hold it, where investors like to give up, right? But these are the stocks moving, happening. So okay, certain things to focus versus certain things not to focus. So based on research, let's say you're an option lover, for example, right? I will put max minimum is $100 is what I want to see. I want to see anything more less than that. For example, when I want to see $100 stocks, I got certain number. I want to see now financials are moving as per my observation in last 2-3 weeks. They've been better than other sectors. So if you want to just check financials, let's see what stocks are there. Do you have any probabilities to do options or not, etc., etc., etc. In this GS is something people can trade, maybe VRTS, something, right? So like that, you have certain options. It could be based on your ideas. Everybody needs are different. So many things can play. This is again weekly, etc., etc. But you know what? I don't have time on a daily basis. I don't have time on a weekly basis. And also, please remember, these two are risky, right? You can't determine what a stock will do on a short term, whether it could be just today, it could be just 1 week from now, just 1 month from now. It's very hard. That's where ThinkSabia has bought so many quarterly reports. Out of that, the most one I love is all institutes ultimate reports. Okay, so based off all the 7,000 institutes, their investments, some of the reports were made. So, and when you go there, what it means, this report means counts consistently increased. I gave 2 quarters and counts. Since 2 quarters, consistent increase has been there. Okay, if you see here 2 quarters, consistency increase is there. Let's just say make it as 4 quarters, so you would understand. So when you do 4 quarters, you see 4, 6, 4, 7, 5, 5, 0, 4, 0, 5, 0, 2, 5, and 5. Consistent increase counts. That's why you got certain things. Instead of that, let's do both. So when you do both, some numbers are coming, some good companies will come, etc., etc., etc. Now, you can look at what are the companies that performing. Sometimes we forget there are so many companies. For example, this particular stock, AMCR, if I'm not wrong, it's at $24 or something. Let's see. Okay, it's just $9. Maybe I have to go back and look what this is. See, now this is performing like this. Okay, consistent interest is there, and at $10, I just read the business. If they have any future, if I feel connected, I can take a chance, and I have to give time. These are like quarterly, they perform over time. So this AMCR, year to date, just turning positive, and it's a S&P 500 stock. You see, I got some options here. Similarly, PLTR, it's performing good, etc., etc. And if you see PLTR, see the counts. So if things have you exist back in days when Tesla, everything were up and down or just starting off, right? Even Shopify, right? These reports I saw when I started off. This is the kind of pattern that was available. That means over time, you know what happened. Those companies took off, right? So that's why two things. One thing is what data is telling you. Second thing is, can you understand the business of it? Can you foresee the connectivity of the future with your mindset or whatever your points that resemble that this business is doing? Can you connect? When you have all these pointers as a positive, that's where you can invest confidently, and irrespective of market movements, you can make decisions because you have a valid reason why you got in, because you understood the business and scope of that business for the future of the nation or world, whatever you call it. So that's when you will be able to. That's when these kind of patterns were emerging for Shopify and Tesla, and they perform. Similarly, these stocks might look like this right now. They might be slow. They might be moving $1 up and down for months. All it takes is 3-4 months when nobody knows. They just boom, boom, rocket. So whether you believe it or not, this kind of stocks is depends on whether you can connect to the business also is very important, because not knowing anything getting in is only going to create some chaos when stocks are moving up and down, right? So like that. So now after this discussion, two things, after this report or this 30 minutes of discussion, I'm going to go and have a focus on two stocks, MAXN and AMCR. Well, whether I don't like them, I'll just move aside, leave it, right? I might miss, but it's just that, can I connect, can I have funds, can I have a vision to stay there? So many factors. Similarly, this stock, this one, as I said, the group reports, discussions, everything help, because if I can recollect, I think maybe 6 to 8 months ago, things have been shared that AUR is invested by Uber. We also talked about it, right? We can see who invested it. Example, if Uber is investing, then you might be thinking why they will invest. Their purpose is, of course, they invest into many chunks, just like we want to invest and see where we can benefit. But if a reputed company who has vision, who is successful, if they're trying to do something, you want to pay attention to. So now see the interest, how it is moving. It was at $2 or 1.5 earlier. Now it moved. So like this, some 4 5 names, 10 names, 15 names, this can continuously make you money depending on if you follow, track those stocks on various reasons, right? So like I said, I mean, out of this many, I can focus only few. My focus, when I saw AUR, I clearly know Uber invested it. I'll just make sure if it's still in, still out, what's going on, etc., etc., etc. So just so I show you how it looks, let's see. Because in first session we talked about individual. Even today recap, I said, if you know a stock, you want to just to see what's going on. So we came to that individual statistical report, simply individual statistical report. So this is how it looks, 91, blah, 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 blah. It's going on. Interest is nice and slow. You see here, prices are going up. Market is also supportive. That's when you can pick, etc. So now, I told you who are the top people that invest. And luckily or unluckily, Uber is here on the top with a certain number of shares, 32. This is because when some insiders sell, report, and they are part of it and they don't do quarterly, the ThinkSabio continues to show until 1 2 years, if I'm not wrong. So that's the reason 325 million shares, you see it here. So that's how they have continuously invested, right? So when somebody is investing into that, why they are showing interest? I follow this particular investor. He's having some good chunk, is continuing to show interest. We don't know when they succeed, that's when we can connect the dots. Oh, this was working on this, etc., etc. When you get nice, good rate, good feasible rate, that's when you have to capture. Okay, anyways, I missed it, but I'm just giving a gist how you can connect the dots with ThinkSabio data and ThinkSabio group sharing good info, etc., 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 all together, right? So like that, you'll be able to figure out good long-term stocks. Okay, this is the report. So many things you can play around using different filters to be able to figure out a good valid kind of scenario that might fit your need. Those kind of stocks are possible. Or let's say, you are very much interested in only particular kind of sector because of your background, whatever. It could be energy, it could be healthcare, it could be, technology related, or XYZ. So you can figure out, you don't worry about other stocks, but what is performing in that angle. Remember, this is 4 count consistently increasing, which is a good sign. Let's do 5. And let me do both. Let's see. PLTR AUR still there. Okay. IBM, it was doing good, from nowhere, from a slow moving stock, it just kept on going like crazy. Toast, they are interest, but it was not performing well. When I saw it was, I think, $90, $9 or something. I don't know when it came to here, but like this, you see some opportunities. If you like it, you'll just take it, right? DKNG, etc., etc. You might see. Again, you just connect to the business and your thought process. If you like it, that's when you can take chances, because there is continuous interest. If there is continuous interest, that means they will perform. Just when, we don't know. For people who want to see immediate results, when, if you want to know within a day or within a month, whether positive or negative, you don't care, risk reward is understandable to you. That's when the other reports are clearly telling you on a day to day what is moving. You'll be able to figure it out. On a weekly basis, you'll be able to figure out and take chances. Even for short term money, whether you want to go for 5%, 10%, that reports will help you. Clearly, it gives you the direction of positive stocks and negative stocks. I did not show you that. I always showed you only positive ones, but all possibilities are available here. So this kind of report will help you to massage, play around. I give different percentage here, 50%. Remember, performing stocks, they continue to do that until certain point. If you are not too late, yes, that that process you will figure out based on where company stands, what are exactly they are trying to do. So many things. You see, pure storage. since 5 quarters, it keeps going, is it at a good valuation, etc., etc., like when they fall down, still, but here things are looking nice. Some could be, at a cheap level. When we look at it, I'm sure that's where we get some opportunities. So like that, you have to focus. Okay. Other than that, when you go to search, things have your diamonds, maybe some report, we will be able to see. Let's see if that comes up. Okay, this diamonds report, what they're trying to do, basically any price, volume, count, shares, everything is positive. Everything is positive compared to previous. That's when they are trying to report this. For example, you see here, comparison, first comparison, positive, positive, pricing, positive, average pricing, positive, volume, positive, everything is positive. Then they're trying to figure out, is there anything valuable here? Out of all the stocks, 5,000 which is captured, and some junk names or under penny names are removed, almost 5 to 10,000 stocks. Out of that, how many you got? 31. Out of all stocks, you get 31. And for 31, you see this SMMT, it's a good healthcare company which was reported around $2, if I'm not wrong. Let's see where it is right now. I don't know the current price. This current price. Okay, right here. So SMMT current price, wow, $8. So if I'm not wrong, I think it was reported 6 to 7 months ago at $2. It's performing. Market is good. We have to consider that also into our pointers. When market is really doing bad, overnight this data cannot be changed because investors have their own vision why they got in, etc., etc. So like that, if you see here, out of all the stocks, this one came in. If at the point of you're seeing this stock report, if you did not see much surge in the prices, right, based on how, because momentum builds, again, based on my experience with stock market, what I've learned in last few years, I'm sharing. It's not like overnight skyrocket for all the stocks. Buy pressure builds up and then things take off based on good certain breakout points or some news emerge or some XYZ is happening, right? Because already my nice position will be there, then they compound on that position based on the current scenario too. So out of this, if something did not really run, or it had a good history, but due to various reasons of market pullbacks, or one drug failure, or one technology hack, something happened and they underperformed, they will recoup, right? Great companies also. If you ask me, or if you anybody has a answer why Nvidia came down to all the way 115 and ran to 1400, if anybody knows, you tell me, right? So even good companies fall down. Why Meta came all the way to 80 and then now above 500? Within nothing changed. Ever since then, we've been telling the same thing of, rate cut never happened, policies have been same, inflation has been growing, or, it has been the same, nothing changed. But companies again performed. They fell like a, free elevator, you can call it, and they steadily increased in last 1.5 year. So like that, you might have some opportunity. Investors still stay in it. They overnight did not panic. They might have removed certain positions, but they still believed in, and the things change. So out of all the stocks, every quarter you come here, out of this 31, well, still 30 is a lot, but if as a team or as a personal interest, each group picks some sectors and try to figure out 1 to 2 good names, that's good enough for every quarter. Every quarter, 1 to 2 good names, and you compound your money. What else is needed? Nothing else. So whether we can succeed, data is there. It is giving us some direction, conclusion, availability, opportunity, whatever you call it. But can we avail and try to learn from every mistake we do and improvise? Because we are having a confident, directionable data in front of us, right? That's how the even ThinkSabio has developed. They started with zero report, then put in more effort, came up with different reports. Then we talk about technical. Now you see daily stunners, trending report stunners, weekly stunners. So every possibility is covered. It's just that how we use it at this point. So like that, from this, I don't have anything that is very particular for me that I am aware of. But otherwise, when we see, maybe this Akul is one name that I might focus, right? My takeaways from this meeting is, MAXN, ACMR, OCUL. Out of this, one or the other thing will bound to help us to make money, right? So same thing, you see this LPBH. Recently only I saw it $24. I think it started moving and I think it came. It's just 3-4 weeks. I don't have uh, my my thinker sim is down. They are doing some maintenance, I believe. But you see here, this is where I saw, I think 24. Same with the reports of ThinkSabio, I came across. But that's what there is risk and reward. If it's running, you don't know why, you don't want to take risk. But boom, you see here, 4 months, 3 months ago, this data was came and sitting, or 2 months ago, whatever you call it. Yeah, 2 months easily. And then after 2 months, whatever, it just did it. You got the data around this time frame. Okay, around this time frame. That's it, up and down, holding, and took off. Just so you know, this stock had LBPH had a lot of transactions in the past. We can take a look. We can take a minute and look. If I'm not wrong, it was around $6 or $5 where I saw a lot of transactions coming in to ThinkSabio. Okay, you see here, I did not open this stock. I just talking to you in front of you, but I could correlate because I actually kept seeing data. $6 and some fine day it took, but it came long ago. It's not in 2023 ending. It came around 2022 ending or something. 1 year it just sat same place, but after that, boom. But let's just see if that what I'm talking, that data is available. Is it even possible to pull up? It's because 1 year ago, I don't think they maintain it, but let's see. And if you followed this session, you should know which report to go, right? Let's go to daily SCC report. That's where I saw the transactions. Okay. Or by symbol I should do. Maybe that's the easiest thing we could do. Let's see. With 1 year plus data, it's very hard for this to digest and pull up. Maybe I should have done all symbol. Just retrospecting, like many times we discuss, you can only connect the dots backwards. Only connect the dots backwards, right? I'm sure this is not in 2023. I saw much before, but it did not do much. Like we saw, right? MAXN. I saw LPBH, a lot of transaction. I used to trade, get in, get out. It was doing nothing. But where it went after that. It just took off. So you see, I think they are nicely cashing out. You don't see anything before to 2023 before, but I am 100% certain. Like I said, around almost a year ago to before, it had a lot of transactions. I will check with ThinkSabio team too to see if there is a way. So just so you will know how to look at them and all that. And then magic started. People started cashing out a little bit here and there because it started performing. So that's exactly can happen with some names when you stay focused and try to look up, etc., etc. Okay. On that note, so bottom line, ThinkSabia has various reports. When you come to website, let me quickly reiterate both the things, both session content and some of the individual things you can explore by yourself. And then next we'll jump into questions. So bottom line, the first thing is you sign up. When you sign up, you have a community page where you can link yourself and join to groups. If people are wondering which groups to pay attention, as you can see, these are also self-explanatory, right? Nothing like, okay, I don't understand what this group is. If you take 1 minute, I'm sure it will be understandable very clearly. Things have your stocks. It's a stock group, chart group. You will chart. Things have your stock alerts is where things have your admins have access and they share ideas. Like example, if you take PLTR, okay, PLTR right now $28. It has probability to go to 29, target one, $30 target two. Stop loss is $26 given current market conditions. Okay, this is what the alert is, something like that, because they feel due to current market and current situation, this stock might perform. Everything is aligning. Market can change any minute, stock can change any minute. That's where you have stop loss depending on your position, your capability, your thought process, your investment. You have to take decisions. Please note, ThinkSabio is a data provider only. They do not emphasize to give any buy or sell alerts. That's not their intent. They would not do that. Similarly, options chart, where every one of us can chart, share ideas, etc. Alerts is you get the alerts. Okay, you signed up, you got into community, the people talk different things. Some people talk on a funny thing, etc., etc. But bottom line, you get content that is useful. ThinkSabio shares important news on a day to day, which pops right away. Like example, oh, you know what? Somebody invested in SON stock. For example, Nvidia invested in SON stock. Immediately that will come. Either TS admin people do by themselves. Sometimes as a users we contribute too, right? So okay, Nvidia invested into SON from $2, it went to $10. This is exactly 4 month story. This is not something before. This is where one of our things have been shared. Boom, $10. So when you get important information, we as a group make some decisions. Like that, they share that, they share important content, reports, and in alerts, right? Other than this, when you come to reports, we talked about different things. A stock, you can see some information for confidence. You want to find a stock, you see some reports to be able to filter out between them. A particular investor, you want to see where they invested, you get to know that. You have a stock, you want to see who is the biggest investor for curiosity or investment purpose or whatever you call it, you can see that. Other than that, let's say you want to do on a daily basis, weekly basis, short term basis, you have reports for daily, weekly, which trend up and give you a clear signals of what stocks are moving. Then we determine based on that, which is here. ThinkSabio shares a decent amount, but not crazily. Reason being, these are very risky. Risk reward is high. They move very quickly, right? You don't want. Rather, what they do from this weekly movers, they pick some solid ones which are having potential at the same time, not too volatile. That way, our money is safe and we have some probability to make money, and bring up some notice points saying, what, this stock is moving, why don't you keep an eye, something like that, right? Those are the possibilities. Other than that, they also have virtual portfolio. Here you can put your own stocks, etc., etc. They have a watch list too, if I'm not wrong. Like you can make your own watch list. If I go here, you can make your own watch list, etc., etc. Whenever I added, what I added, etc. So you can make clear sense. If you want to know when you add it, where it's going, you put it as a watch list. I added at certain point, how much returns I could have. So you learn from your performances how to better it, how I can make good choices. You see this jump 141 to 237. Why do you think a big jump? Why do you think that? There could be some significance. That's where the stock shoots up, people make money, and it will continue to thrive over the next few quarters, years. Okay. So like that, you have a good watch list. I love this feature because it clearly tells me how my stocks that I picked are performed when I picked time frame also. In a lot of our brokerage, we can only just input the name, but we don't see when I added, where I added, how well it did after high and low returns. We cannot see. That's like a nightmare scenario. So this I love. So like that, you have this, and anything else, tools, etc. If you love to donate, if you succeeded, or you have good humanitarian art, that probability is also there. Overall, this is where we stand with respect to ThinkSabio as a community, what they are trying to do, how they are trying to improve themselves on a day to day. There's good opportunity, guys. As a team, common people are meeting, and the CEO of the company, who is very transparent with his transactions, completely gives where he's trading. If he's buying something, he will tell, okay, this is the stock I'm buying at this rate, and clearly give a screenshot. He developed that principle just to bring more awareness, more trustworthiness between the users and also the company itself. Okay. On that note, we can jump to questions, and immediately once I answer those, we can head out, I guess.
Hey Dhanu, thanks for doing this thing. As always, no, you've done a very nice job. One question that I wanted to ask is on the stocks, right? When we get these insider transactions that are provided, do we get all of the insider transactions, or is it only after 5%, above 5%, or is it just general? And because I see both the sell and the buy transactions. But say sometimes they buy the stock and then they sell it off. So how do we know?
Yeah. So since you brought up insider, so insider is something like, you are part of company, you own a big position or any position. Okay. So naturally you own certain stock, which is significant, right? Like when you're on the upper levels of the position. So when they do it, the immediate, like I said, within 1 to 2 days of their buy or sell, they have to report it. Let's say they have some rules. They can just buy and sell whatever they like. Like, for example, Tesla, Elon Musk can do whatever he likes. For example, Jeff Bezos is there, right? He can't do whatever he likes. There is waiting period, it has to go, etc. So whenever they sell, you will see as a sell. Whenever they buy, you will see as a buy. That's it. And there is no limitation for that. As an insider, if he sells something, they will report.
It's not like that 5% that they have to.
No, for insider,
if they have to
it
report
doesn't
5%, if they get 5%.
No, for insider, it doesn't.
It's not applicable. Okay.
It's just that they hold a lot of stock, right? A lot of stock. When they take certain action, sell it, they have to report it. Simple. It could be very less amount also, they will report it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now this last 3 days, right? Amazon, Jeff Bezos, then Sundar Pichai, all of them sold a bunch of stock this last week. Are they selling because the price is so high and they are booking profits just for? How do we know that they are just booking the profits because they've been holding that stock for a long time, or they see something within that and they were selling? Because if we are keeping it and then they are selling, but sometimes people are selling because they want to ensure they're booking profit and they still hold so much stock.
Yeah.
Right?
True, very true. So it is the thing. I mean, since we are not talking personally to them, we don't know their intent. Like, I mean, if I'll grab Sai words here just to make it funny, right? Everybody has needs, so they do because certain point, you want to, like I said, there is waiting period where the stock gets matured. They have some rules to follow. That's when, irrespective of whatever the stock price is, Jeff Bezos sold at, if I'm not wrong, at 140s, 150s, right? If he knows it's going to 200, we will think, oh, why would he sell it, right? No, it's common practice. It's his business. He wants to, he will want to put more effort for it to succeed and all that. At the same time, they have to follow company rules. They have their own needs. Maybe he buys a villa, who knows? So that's why they do it. Not necessarily, see, buying is always a positive sign, irrespective who buys it. You buy it, I buy it. I buy a home in certain area, assuming it will, the value go up or the property is good, or I can flip flop, whatever. But if I'm selling, that means there are so many things. One is I might have a need where I did not do other business good, or I just want to hold to cash, or my
sister's wedding, whatever.
You don't know. So it's all depends. So that's why people are always on the bull side. The reason being, if market is performing or somebody is buying, it's always easy guess that it's for good deed, basically. Yeah.
Okay. Because all these people who are buying, right, they're selling at a very high price, and then we keep putting it, and so something that they know that they're selling at a peak. Like a couple days back when the market was really high, they all sold all of their stock at a very high price. The next day, everything was down.
Right. Yeah, I think I particularly did not focus like that. If just in case, if I focus, I might have a pointers to share. But again, like I said, they are also humans. I don't think they know what market will do. That's my take again. but at the same time they have big connectivity, good people in hand, good researchers in hand, right? So for
Uh-huh.
that reason they do some things which might be very valid. But again,
Okay.
if that
Yeah,
is,
and
that's the
also,
whole
yeah,
purpose, right? If that's the whole
yeah,
purpose of this, if you think that's what they are doing right, you just follow them, make it easy for
correct,
yourself too.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, since so many people are brand new on this call, I'd really like to tell everybody that the data is fantastic, but make sure that you have a good sum of good stocks, like have Meta, have such companies, because if you see, okay, Sai is sharing, yes, it's okay, he's sharing. But sometimes I thought at least, right? And I thought, okay, Sai bought the stock and I bought that same thing. But then maybe Sai sold it off, right? And I did not see. And I had that. But had I kept Amazon or had I kept SPY, I would have been doing very well, right? So sometimes picking some small stock like these therapeutics and everything may hurt your portfolio. So don't go over 5-10% of your portfolio. Ensure that you keep good stocks.
Yep. Totally agree with you. That's where you remember I brought up few points. See, in session we talk everything. Whether
Yeah,
we follow and implement is
yeah,
it depends on the other side of the people. So that's where we talked about, hey, you know what? Try
yeah,
to see the data, try to see the perspective of the
correct,
people, then own it to
correct,
see if that is the right fit to you in terms of, are you understanding
correct,
the business? Do you know what it is going to do in the future? You have a strong feeling you
correct,
get in, you know what to do, even if it's falling or even if
correct.
it's running upside. But if you
Yeah,
don't do, and like you said, some Sai invested or Dhanu invested or some
correct,
XYZ did, you have a no plan in place. That means it will
correct.
jeopardize your portfolio, because I might have invested
100%.
$10 where I have
Correct,
$100, but you invested $90. I
correct,
immediately cut it down after five. Let's say even 50% loss, I cut it down. I lost $5. You cut it, you lost
correct,
$45. Your portfolio is
correct.
gone, basically. Yeah. So that homework everybody has to do, no matter, even if you're investing in Nvidia, even Magnificent 7, they are calling right now, right? Even if you put in
Yeah,
Mag 7, you have to do this homework.
uh,
Without doing that, if I just put it, it will
correct.
make a babies, it is not going to happen. It's going to hurt you,
Yeah,
right?
study this data is awesome. Yeah, this
Yeah.
data is awesome. Study, spend some time, go through all these reports that Danu is sharing. It's very valuable information. And always Danu is also very helpful. You can ping him and ask, you can ask Sai, you can ask anybody, Siva, all wonderful people to work with.
Yeah, thank you, Rosalind, for good words. Uh, it encourages
Mm.
definitely all the team members, myself, to do more
Yeah,
better.
because see, yeah, it helps. Yeah, it is helping making a world a better place, helping people understand, what stocks are, because people are afraid. Like Sai has always said, I was afraid of stocks. I just got out of it. So even
Yeah,
I thought it was gambling. I thought it was game. No, it is having very, very good data,
yeah,
understand all of it.
yeah. There is potential. It's just that,
Very nice,
can
Danu.
we
Thank
tap
you
it
for
or
your
not?
time.
Yeah, can we tap it or
Yeah.
not is the key. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Any other questions, team?
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So on that note, I think we took 1 hour. We want to respect everybody's time. Anytime you guys have any questions, feel free. We
Yeah,
will
hi,
try to
Tanu.
address.
Somebody is having
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Yeah,
question.
Yeah,
yeah,
Naveen?
hi, Tanu.
Yeah, tell me, Naveen.
Hey, yeah, couple of questions. Okay, uh, like I saw like one of the a report. It says if you go to the portal, I
Mm-hmm.
just want to see,
Yeah, yeah, tell me. I'll
and
going.
and in the portal, okay, it says our picks, the tab
Okay.
where it says.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm pretty much sure. Okay, this is done by the Think Saviors
Yeah.
and everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So it says, okay, based on the month, okay, these are the few
Correct.
tickers, okay, those are really doing good.
Okay.
So those will be changing every day or
So
it's like monthly?
got it, got it. So good question. Let me share it and convey it so it's easy to understand. You can see my screen.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So you remember I said that when you go to community, okay, there is stock alerts, option alerts, etc. So just for stocks, they are tracking. So anything that goes into stock alerts, they just put it as a pointer here. That way, anybody who has no time, but they sit on website, they can take a look, etc. So to put it in simple terms, for example, UPST was posted on 11th July, which is 2 days ago, saying this is the entry point, and they gave some exit points also. Let me see if they put it. If you see here, same thing will be, you can just go and search with UPST tag in stock alerts. You will find same exact content. Okay. So that's all. It will just sit in there. That's all. It's not like they will change or not. Once they post it, they will have it here just for, reference purpose, etc., etc.
Okay.
Yeah. So month-wise, because it's so far in July they shared some, in the month of May or June they shared some, for example, they shared something. So the stocks performed decent. Once it is posted, some went 27%, some 6. This went only 8% and backed out. I'm sure it is down right now. Versus these things are performing well, etc. No stock, you know, right? Obviously, stock moves both sides. So that's why they
Right.
give here, what is the probability? They said 37, right? Entry point upside. They gave until 40, 42, etc. Downside, they said 34, but it already hit upsides. Now, whether you want to sit and continue to hold that position, that's where I said they give some perspective, keeping generalized public, right? If I might be sitting on this name for next 2 decades, example, I'm just making it up, and the stock might go to $400, but that's not my goal. My goal was, okay, there is an opportunity to trade $1-2 trade, because that's what they cannot predict for months from now, or nobody can predict. That's why anybody who is expecting some suggestions, this is what the format is. Simply put, okay, 520 on 520, they said this. Okay, prices is, entry price is this one. When they posted, like, let's say I'm posting it right now live market, and let's say I'm buying this stock, it was at 39.64. So they sent it. When you see it, it might be at 37 or 38. That's a different perspective. But the moment when I'm sharing it, that was the price. And they think it might go up to 39, 40, 42. Now, and let's say it is not doing what they think upside, and market turned down, or this particular stock itself is not performing. 34.88 they think is a good time. You decide what you want to do. Something like that. So bottom line, this stock was recommended or posted here, and it had this move. Luckily, it just kept on moving and it hit $47. You could have exited at $42. We don't know. I could have waited and I could have exited at 45. Some person could have exited at 47. Some could be still holding it, and they do nothing. They might be thinking, it will reach 50, 60, 70, whatever their vision is, right? Like I said, those are the things. When you see a data point, connect what it is, whether you can correlate with the business of the company, whether you can correlate with the vision of this performing for the next few months, decades, or whatever you call it. And then accordingly, you make decision why you want to invest. If you invest for $1, you want to invest, or if you want to invest for a long term, 6 months, 1 year, you want to invest, or if it's not performing, you want to get out at this downside price. That way you have a limitation. Your money is not going completely red. Instead, you made a wrong choice, you want to move on and try to find another good choice. Basically, that's the intent. And not only that, they also give you reasons. For most of the time, they give you reason why they want to love. I mean, they have found this, because they're saying its revenue has hit around a certain million, and it's a growth. Just like, you take your income, from 100K, if you are hitting 125K, that's a 25K income. Or let's say your business is there, you have a 100K business right now, but it moved up to 125, and if you can sustain it, your growth will continue to happen. That means your stock price will move. So that's why seeing all these good things happening, and how they grew their nice net income, etc., etc., they are giving you some suggestions, saying some pointers, saying why this could be a good thing. If you see here, Amazon itself has invested.
Right.
Amazon, that's what I'm telling. In these reports, it will help you figure out if there are any good quality companies. If Amazon itself is putting some money there, you know why they put. They want to succeed. But their ventures, let's say they venture into 5, maybe 1, 2 might fail, but most of them will become successful, because They already are powerful people, have talent, have vision, where to get in, etc., etc. So like that. So they're saying, Amazon invested. Let's see. That also you can see with, now you know the stock. So let's see if who invested it. Not here. So not here. Maybe, okay. You see here, Amazon invested. They have some chunk of 1.6 million shares. That's where you have to see total outstanding shares, how much is there, right? Where do you see outstanding shares? 42 million shares. Out of 42 million, 2 million is invested by Amazon. Like this, all these pointers help me to make some decisions and invest either for a long term, short term, or whatever my goal is, basically. Got it, Navin?
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
One more thing.
Yeah,
I
sure.
see there is a report where one of the field it says blockbuster. So just trying to.
Yeah, if you see here, right? If you see here, excellent. So they tell why they pick that. In my perspective, or based on my experience, this you see it as just a reference, but don't go by completely assuming. For example, in bigger reports also, like earlier I gave you example where everything is positive, counts is positive, like number of people invested between 2 quarters is positive, share price is positive, volume is positive, right? And then price itself is also positive. Everything is positive, all four parameters, it gives you a good chance. So it's like a blockbuster thing. However, then still research has to go in, right? It's a data, but the data, how you interpret it is the key here. So for that, what I told you, one point I shared or what I see is, well, this data I see it. Did it make a significant surge in the price? Then I will think as, what, maybe the leftover meat is less, or maybe it is very risky because it already made a significant jump. By the time I have this data in last 2-3 months, it moved from $2 to $6. I don't want to risk in this kind. Rather, same data pattern and a stock which is at $2 or $1.5 compared to last 3 months more, this is more safe bet for me. And on top of it, like I said, I can connect the dots of business. I can see what could be coming. Then I will take a position here. That could be my thought process. Like that, you should be able to figure out. But in particular, just like the wording sounds, I would not go by that. Rather, I would go on the parameters what we discussed so far in these 2 sessions, based on count, shares, or based on goals. If you are looking at daily, how many things are popping in daily reports, what they mean, or the main biggest thing I mostly look into always is on the 1 to 10 day transaction values, because 1 to 10 day is more relevant. They are taking action right now and are able to know quickly. So in this 10 days, what price action is happening for the shares for that particular stock, I will know, and accordingly I'll make a choice. I get more probable decisions, best decisions with that. Like that, I use all those things.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Navin, for sharing your questions. Definitely, it helps others.
Yeah. Hi, Dhanunjaya. This is Kiran here.
Yeah, Kiran.
Thank you for your time explaining all these things. I'm a pretty new to things Sabio tool actually. I recently joined. This software has a lot of information. It's totally overwhelming for me, as it has a lot of good data. But as a beginner, which report will help me to pick some, stocks? I don't want to trade like blue chip companies, which are like Apple, Amazon, because I cannot able to buy as a retail trader. But if the stock is moving, like institution counts or price or volume, which report will help me to pick the stocks and get into the game of trading?
Yeah. Okay. So that's a good question. But the thing is, there is no straight answer of, okay, just do this, right?
Okay.
Instead, when you have that kind of question, I will be asking, what is your goal? Are you looking at a day trading opportunity?
Yeah, let's
Are
go.
you looking? Yeah, then
couple of days and sell it.
yeah, then we talked about it. So let me go back and show you. So now this stock, up. Let's talk about just uptrend, assuming you are going long. This is daily. What is happening on a day to day in last 2-3 days, right? For example, I came here, now I pick this particular report. Now, how do I determine whether I can make good decisions or not? Is where you open the chart, right? Now my system is down because the brokerage is down. They are doing some maintenance, but otherwise, now from this, based on where the market is running, like financial runs some days, healthcare stocks runs. We have to understand the dynamics of the market. Some days big stocks, big cap runs. Some days, right now, my feeling, small cap stocks are performing, especially from July 1st. If it continues to perform in next 2 weeks, that means all stocks which are $2-3 can jump to $4-5. Okay, that is a possibility. With that assumption, I'll get in. The moment I get in, if things go backward or opposite end, I have to make a decision of loss. But that's the only way we can play here, right? So if you are looking only short term, that means you need to focus on what they are sharing. For example, if you followed the channel, today they posted about 2-3 stocks. Yeah, I think AS, let me check 1 second. Okay, the stocks are BT. Simple. The reason is since 3 weeks it's going up. Okay, since 3 weeks it's going up. To check that, weekly. If you're looking for quick money, this is the only way. The only way. You need to check which stocks are moving here and pick something. So now they picked based on certain characteristics of the stock they look at. They pick this stock, saying BT is moving. You see what you can do based on.
Yeah.
The reason is it's a Bitcoin stock. Financials are moving. Like I said, small cap is moving. Financial stocks are moving. This market trend sensitivity you have to understand. Without understanding this sensitivity, it will become difficult.
Yeah, maybe rephrase my question. If the ticker symbol, I know I can use the tool and get to know how many institution counts and how many shares, what are the interest from the institution, whether increasing or decreasing newly bought. That information, I mean, I get to know. But finding a ticker itself, how this tool will help me. That's
Yeah, that's what
what
I'm
are the main
answering.
characteristics I need to
Correct.
look at?
So weekly, see, you said you have a short-term goal now. So now, since 8 weeks, the stocks are performing. From this, it's not like one stock, okay, this is it. No. If you saw a report that I pulled earlier for all the gainers, all positive, there were 31 stocks, right? From that, we should be able to study and pick a stock. That's all. See, out of 10,000 stocks, it filtered and gave you 31 stocks. That's the data. That's a data point analysis. Now, out of this, which suits based on our conditions, we have to pick and choose. For that, I told one point I look at is that if it is searched a lot from the point of it being getting into this report, possibility of getting into this report, I wouldn't pick that. That's my way of looking at things and handling my portfolio or my investment. Similarly, when you asked, hey, how I can find, you said, you know what, I want to make short term, like quickly. So quickly is trending reports. We'll jump onto that, but this is the one. Now, since 8 weeks, some stock is performing. The idea is it will continue to perform. From this, you should be able to pick a stock which makes more sense to you. So same, for example, your BT I pulled up earlier, saying, things have just shared it. If you see the chart, they just shared it. They picked based on certain circumstances of this stock moving continuously since 3 weeks. They think it has a potential. Like I said, stock is moving on the uptrend. Stock is falling under financial services bucket, and financial services stocks are moving. It can change any minute, but at this point, that is what is happening. And they said it's a Bitcoin stock. As long as Bitcoin performs, this will also perform. Now, based on all these parameters, this stock is performing. Now, if you want to make money quickly, you need to sit on a performing stock. What will happen after that is something different. We will talk only after the fact. But these are the possibilities you see. Out of all these stocks, like I said, the things have been shared, 3 stocks. this evening. BT is 1, 6:28 p.m. they shared. PLSE is 1. Why did they pick this? It is moving, it has some characteristics, etc., etc. All those things combined together with their analysis and learning, they shared it. And another stock is INOD. Okay, there is some stock called INOD. It moved like 27% in 3 weeks. But the idea is it might continue to perform. So you want to keep an eye. And if you want to trade for quick money, let's say it is at $17 now. You get in at 17 and you get out at 17.50, something like that. That's all you can make. And they might continue. But a stock which is moving on volatility and volume can do anything both directions. That's where you pick your choice of, okay, this is not my investment cycle. My investment cycle is I'll sit on a stable stock. Then there are certain reports that are helping you. Even weekly, it will give you stable stocks that you can look at and make a choice, pick and choose. But if you're doing for immediate kind, this is where it comes. So these are all the stocks moving. Tomorrow, let's say when market opens on Monday, here you will see all the stocks that are moving right now. But you can't just get in like that. That's where it becomes tricky for day traders. So based on my situation and learning, eventually the goal is to get to where I'm comfortable. You go and ask anyone in stock market, they will have a pattern of their own characteristic of where they connect. Some connect to day trading because they know they quickly get in, get out. Some connect to swing trading. They invest, they look at the things and they will take a chance. Some connect to long term because they are fundamentally strong in what they look at, etc., etc. For example, today I posted one stock saying ASRT. Okay. I just went to some report. I can't recollect now, but let's see. I went to some report and I saw, and of course it took some time. I put some effort. Now, since this is going since 6 weeks, you see this? 6 weeks. So same thing, when you pick, when it was in 4th week, 112 to 116. If it continues in the direction it is moving, that is helpful. That's where you assess both the stock and the market direction. To do that, you have to be active in what is happening. Okay, for example, just now, we have a situation on Trump. So if market really takes it in a different direction, it could have impact on Monday. Or Trump has his own stock. So just because he got shot, maybe sympathizers jump in and his stock might be just running. So like that, you have to assess, because you said, I want to make money in 2 days. If you're trying to make money in 2 days, you need to be up to date with what is happening in the market, minute to minute. You don't focus on what is happening minute to minute, but you want to make money in 2 days, it's not going to happen. So there are certain things. This is data gives you pointers to find out investment opportunities. And based on that, we have to assess current scenario too. And then make a move, because this Friday data doesn't know what is coming on Monday, or this Friday data doesn't know, okay, today Trump is going to get shot, right? They don't know. So based on that, market dynamics completely change. So accordingly, you have to make choices. But again, simply put, trending report, daily report, weekly report, long-term report. 4 reports, 4 characteristics available. Based on our goals, we have to study a little bit and take a pick, and then make moves for small gains or large gains, depending on the time period you give.
Okay. In the group, I'm also seeing this option chain, option alerts, in the Telegram group. How this tool will help on the options tradings?
Yeah, it's not going to help for options.
Options, okay.
However, I use it, like for example, weekly 400, right? I gave an example during my session itself. I put a minimum $100. Now I want to see which stocks are performing. Or forget about this. GS, I gave you same example. Let me pull Google. I know it is in 6th week right now. How could I tell? How could I tell? Because I already looked into, I work on this. Because if I want to invest, I want to make money, I have to look where things are moving. Why? That's why I did not pull up, right? Even before pulling up, I told it is in 6th week. So now I know there is a possibility this is moving nice and steady onto the upside. Now on Monday morning or Tuesday or entire week, I have to see what market is telling me. So I have to be able to gauge in what news came in Monday morning. Like I said, just like the act I just mentioned earlier, whether it has any impact or it could be no impact, nobody cares. It could be that also, we don't know. So like that, you should first read the market. That reading, how do you get? You get through the news they are sharing in the morning, the stocks that are trending in the morning. If the market is driving crazy red or crazy green, you have to make decisions about, what, market may not move further up. So like this, some study is important. Now I have a watch list of, okay, Google for calls, some let's say, Goldman Sachs, GS for puts. I have this as a study for now, for me, for a Monday morning, but it could completely change. It can be reverse. For whatever financial reason, nice update comes saying, rate cut is happening right away. Rate cut is coming. Some announcement comes. All financial stocks might go. Boom. Interest rate went down. That means banks are making money. Maybe, we don't know, right? Some correlation is there. So it will go up. So then I have to focus on that as a call rather than put, like this. This study has to go in. This study, how do you get it? You stay up to date of the market where things have been sharing news. Suddenly somebody invested into something. For example, I bought up earlier. Nvidia stock has invested into a particular stock called SOUN, sound track or something. So the moment it is invested from there, it did not overnight, but in next 4 to 6 weeks, it went from 2.5 to $10. So like that, how you were able to find a trade? Because you stayed on top of the market scenarios. Things have your shares it. We just have to follow it. And then if you connect the same dot and you want to take an opportunity, you can take. Like that, opportunities will be made. So for options, like that, it doesn't specifically tell, but same thing. Option means you want to play call, you have to find something that are uptrending. If you want to play puts, you want to try something that is not performing. Simple. You have same weekly downtrend report too. So in downtrend report, you might be able to find some trades, something that is not really performing for quite some weeks. There will be an opportunity there also. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Dhanunjaya, only one. This is a general question.
Sure.
So just trying to understand. Okay. If you buy and sell, okay, after increasing of the 10% or 15%, or if you buy again, okay, rebuy and again resell, that strategy will be good, or long term, okay, you buy with the conviction,
Yeah.
you wait for some time.
Got it. Yeah.
So in the tax purpose, okay, I see there is a long term capital gains, okay, that tax.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
which strategy, or how it will be?
Yeah.
Just general.
Yeah, I know it's very generic. Like I said, stock market has been in existence for hundreds of years. Okay. But even today, nobody had the courage to break the dynamics of the market to understand it. So that is your answer. Okay. So nobody knows what is going to happen. For that, coming to tax gains, etc., it's a personal thing. I'm not a professional, but if you wait long term and sell it, your tax gains are different versus you do it on a day to day or short term within a year. This is a known thing. So that is not something surprising for us. It's just, and coming to your main question, hey, you know what? I buy today, sell tomorrow. I buy today, I wait after a year and sell it. It goes back to same thing what we discussed. You first yourself have to identify what kind of a trader I am, whether I am a day-to-day trader where I have nice screen space and this is only my job where I continuously keep monitoring things and be a day trader. Okay. No, I can't do that. Then my question next is, well, I can be a swing trader or not. You know what? I invest today and I can monitor every 1 hour. It's just seeing a app or something because I invested in little consistent stocks. So I can be a short-term kind of trader where, or call myself as a swing trader where I do on a week to week, etc., etc. Because that depends on your you have a baby, new baby, and you can monitor your own main work. How can you monitor everything that is happening? Then that doesn't suit you. So next is, you know what? I am a person who thinks about capital gains. I am a person who doesn't want to pay taxes. That's my mindset. Let's just say, how can you be a day trader, swing trader? So these are very generic, like you said. At the same time, the answer is not straightforward. However, it's just that we have to identify where I am good at. Am I good at day trading things? Am I good at flipping things quickly? Am I good at staying into a particular stock with is making stable moves and I can take 5% gain? I have in our group who can't wait even one day. That example is me only. Versus in the same group, we have people who invest 6 months plus to make 10%. Big difference. He's not going to do what I'm going to do because our both mindsets and ambition wise in terms of trading is totally different. Basically, since we do have different goals, we act differently and the choices we make also will be different. Okay.
Wow, well said. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, guys. This was great discussion. Definitely few questions that will indirectly help other friends too. Once again, I want to tell you, great group as a community, we can learn and do just like our job. You can just go there, oh, just because you're sitting in the system, in front of the system, doesn't mean you can learn without you putting right effort. Same thing applies here. It's no different than researching for our home or car before you buy. You need to look at your budget, your capability, your next few months or few years of sustainability before you. I can just go and buy a $1.5 million home compared to a $500 home. Which is affordable to you? Who can tell on this earth except you or your family or your wife or your kids? That's it. You can ask for someone telling, hey, what is good for me? Tell me. Nobody can answer that. Same way, stock also applies the same. Just like your work, you learn and you get there, you put effort to climb up the stairs within your company hierarchy. Here also, you need to put effort to see what is happening in the market, what kind of a trader or where do I fit my mindset in terms of investing. Once you figure that out, that's when the outcome starts coming. But you don't do all that. Rather, you just follow one person or one group. I mean, I don't want to say that, but it's not going to yield results. It's going to be a disaster. That's for period. You have to understand the dynamic. How do you understand? See, when I came to ThinkSabio, I have zero knowledge. Zero. Literally, I don't know what a ticker is. But when they're talking what a ticker is, I came to know what a ticker is. When they're talking, hey, you know what? Somebody invested into this company, then I know, okay, there is some significance always to pay attention when somebody is investing into some company. Well, I don't know first day, but when I'm following certain charts, certain groups, I came to know, okay, if NVIDIA is investing into a particular company, maybe that means something for taking a long position. That's how I understood that, right? We also learn based on how they're performing, whether that is a good move, bad move. Like this, it's a learning along with the data points. Just like you want to develop a code, Java, .NET, you name it, or any front end, you need right tools. Right tools, at the same time, you need to know how to use that tool. But in this context, most of our people, they have a tool. It has to give you result. How it will give you result? You have to input right things, right place, right time for the results. Same way, you have to take right outcome from that report to be able to give a life to your investing. As simple as that. It could be straight, it could be blunt, but without doing that, you expect results, it's not going to happen, period. But good part is, there are people in the group who share valuable information. There are reports that give valuable direction for us. Only these two, along with over time, you learn your mistakes and your understanding over market. That's going to give you results in stock market. Okay. On that note, we will end this call. I hope you all will have a rest of the day and rest of the weekend, a good happy moments, and then we'll catch up on Monday for good exciting things in the market. All right. Have a good day, guys. Thank you so much for joining. It's a pleasure talking to you all today.